Hello, I'm Adam Schaefer, and I'm the president of Phelps United. I'm also the host of the famous podcast Planet Amazon, if anybody has listened to that one. But here today, we're talking about Phelps United, and we're at the Amazon Accelerate show. And I'm a little sad, but I'm happy, but I'm sad, and I'll tell you why. I was supposed to be live in Seattle on this trip, and right before I left, we had a little bit of a family emergency, which kept me off the trip. But the great news is I've been trying to keep the virtual sessions going, but we have a crew there at the Amazon Accelerate Show live, and with us today is Michael Donahue, who's one of Phelps United brand managers. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thanks for having me, Adam. I'm excited to join and talk a little bit about what I've seen so far.
Yeah, no, so I'm excited to talk about it. It's not the same experience being virtual for sure, and it's hard because of course you get more interruptions when you're doing it from your computer, and sometimes it sticks a little bit, so you don't get that full experience. But it was pretty good, and I definitely got the message. But I definitely want to get your perspective on it. For me, the first day or the first day of meetings at Amazon Accelerate was more about partnerships, but it was also about how Amazon is helping facilitate beyond Amazon. So they're doing more to help sellers sell beyond Amazon with their tools and their services. And to me, the big takeaway for me was this multi-channel fulfillment program that they have, where you could be selling on any platform and leveraging their shipping. And if you use Buy with Prime, you get all the benefits of almost buying on Amazon, including fast, free shipping. So that's what I got. I mean, it sounded like a day of partnerships and a day of how do we help you sell beyond Amazon. Amazon so good in their heart trying to get sales for all the sellers above and beyond, but all these services really do help the whole ecosystem. So Michael, tell us what you were witnessing live. It's got to be better than virtual.
Yeah, absolutely. So the multi-channel fulfillment section, that was definitely a huge point of emphasis for them. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the partnerships that they announced. So one of the partnerships that they announced was with Google. And so, for example, you search for a product on Google and you have the option and it'll display Buy with Prime. So sellers are really able to leverage that with Google. It's the same thing with PayPal. And they're also doing the same thing with TikTok, where when you're scrolling on TikTok and there's a sponsored ad that comes up, there's an option where you can buy with Prime directly on TikTok. So I think going forward, it'll be important for sellers, to utilize the Buy with Prime feature. It'll just, get a lot more views on your product and have a lot more eyes for your brand.
Yeah, and supposedly it's really cranking up the conversion rates on all these other sites and hopefully all these other marketplaces. People have a lot of trust in Amazon, and you can get that free, fast fulfillment. And it seems like you said on Google, it's going to actually say, free, fast fulfillment, and it's a 3-day fulfillment now, I think, shipping your
Yeah,
products from FBA. So I thought that was awesome. And
yeah.
it hits everything. Like originally it was just Shopify, but now it just seems like all the other marketplaces are now involved. So I thought that was a huge win.
Yeah, definitely a huge win for sellers and Amazon themselves. I mean, Amazon is just a beast, as everyone knows, and continually growing. And with that, a lot of sellers can grow if they, utilize the right resources that Amazon provides us. So definitely a lot of information to take in, but all very good news so far.
What else? So I spent most of my time watching that segment on the MCF multi-channel fulfillment. But what else were they talking about? Because I think they were talking about some ability to ship from China directly to Amazon. So how does that work?
Yeah, so one of the big emphasis from that opening ceremony was the supply chain and all the resources that they're putting into the supply chain, to make it easier for sellers to either ship from FBA, ship from overseas, or do whatever they need to do. So following the opening ceremony, there was a separate supply chain session, and they kind of go over the AGL program, the Amazon Global Logistics Program, which I thought was super interesting. So now you can ship your products from overseas, China, for example, directly into Amazon warehouses or AWD, Amazon Warehouse Distribution. So definitely a great opportunity, and kind of cuts out some lead time. Like I know us, for example, sometimes we have to bring the product into our facility ourselves. This cuts out a week or two of stalled sales where we're not getting anything because they're not available up at FBA. These can go directly into a fulfillment center or an AWD warehouse, and just kind of keeps the process going very smooth. The one thing that they're really pushing for the AGL program is the reliability and the speed of the program. You're able to track your shipments, from point A all the way to point B every single step of the way. And they're not done. They're continuing to add more resources and make it even easier for sellers to facilitate these kind of shipments.
I mean, so Amazon is the entire supply chain. It's shipped from China to their master warehouses, from their master warehouses, which you can use as a 3PL. They then funnel it over to the FBA warehouses. So you get it all. And like, if I were doing it all over again, I would never get a warehouse. I just wouldn't do it at this point. And I would leverage as much as I can from them. Why not? So that's awesome. I won't ask you about Martha Stewart yet, but tell me about some of the breakouts that you've been seeing.
Yeah, so the one breakout that I went to was on the supply chain. So I kind of got a deeper look into some of the programs that they're going to be doing. Obviously, there's the partner carrier program and the Amazon warehousing and distribution. Those are pretty, popular programs now at this point. The AGL is what I was really focused on. It's end-to-end cross-border shipping. It ships directly to fulfillment centers or AWD warehouses. The benefits of AGL that I kind of took away from that was it's a simple and very integrated solution. It's very speedy and reliable. It has competitive pricing compared to other carriers you might be using rather than Amazon. And there's a choice of inbounding options, whether you want to do air or on ocean. So that was a new little wrinkle to add to it. You can track your shipments, like I mentioned, they claim 99% milestone accuracy. So you can track your shipment the entire way. They provide proof of delivery, and you can self-service to download every single document online. So kind of just there, it was launched last year and announced at last year's Accelerate. So it's continuing to grow. Obviously, there's still some hiccups that we've seen on our side, but I think that's kind of their main emphasis going forward, is they're going to keep putting investments into their supply chain and a lot of their logistics programs. So going forward, we should see some more resources go into it, different options to if you need to go overseas, and they also are providing a lot of new domestic resources as well.
What I thought was also pretty cool, I mean, I've been following the Veeqo guys for a while until, and Amazon bought them. And if I had to do it again now, I mean, we spent so much time and effort and money on APIs to the system we use. So, but I mean, maybe we'll still do it. But the Veeqo solution is it's free, and it services all the different marketplaces also. So it's not just Amazon. And then they were rolling out, I didn't catch it all, but the profit analyzer, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know if you caught that at all.
I did. I actually took a picture on my phone of the profit analyzer. So let me just look at what the screenshot had. But yeah, so it has all your products in there. It's like a dashboard. It'll tell you the SKU. It has sale, units sold, ads cost, all the channel fees. So you can, from what I got out of it, you can have one line item, one ASIN or one SKU, and you can just get the profit on that particular SKU, or you can group them all together. I thought it was a really cool, feature that I think would be very beneficial to a lot of sellers, including ourselves. But
I'm definitely a Veeqo fan. I'm turning into a Veeqo fan for sure. It seems easy, and it seems like it's integrated to Amazon. So I mean, how bad can it be? It's it's you're working with the source.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought it was super cool, and I definitely would love to try it out.
So then, just for the fun of it, Martha Stewart got a little hung up on my PC today, so she's spinning around and stuttering a little bit. But what was she like in person? I mean, what value did she add? I heard she said some funny stuff.
Yeah, she was. It was cool to see her up there. I personally didn't realize how many brands and how long she's been doing this for. She was a little bit before my time, but I obviously know who Martha Stewart is. It was cool to hear, some of the advice. The interviewer was asking her what advice she would give to her grandkids, and just always be curious. So that was one thing that I took away from it. Always be curious, always be learning. She has so many different brands and so many different categories that she's in, whether it be, cooking and cookbooks, gardening. One new thing that she mentioned she was getting into was outdoor furniture, all used from recyclable materials. Um, yeah, she's top of the list when it comes to entrepreneurs, and she's always seems like she's able to adapt to new things. Obviously, she had her cookbooks on Amazon when Amazon was, strictly doing, book sales. So she's been working with Amazon for so long, knows the ins and outs, and she was very insightful.
I'm dating myself here, but I was at the Nagano Olympics. I think it was 2000 or something like that. And Martha was there, and she lived in my town in Connecticut where I lived at the time. And so I said, "Hey, Martha," we were at this monkey forest. I saw her walking around with some people, and I took this monkey and I said, "Can I take a picture with you with this monkey?" And I put the monkey in her hair, and the monkey just started ripping her hair apart, and she was screaming. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did this." And I had to take the monkey out of her hair, but it didn't leave a good impression. So I'm glad I didn't bump into her today, because I'm sure she holds a grudge. But she's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know why I did that.
everyone had their cameras out and was taking pictures, so it was definitely really cool. And we were front row, so we got a real close look.
Good. So, yeah, anything else on tap for today? You have any other breakouts?
There's another breakout that I want to hit right after here. I have a couple starred, so I'm gonna have to decide which one I'm gonna do. And then tonight there's a block party, which is at the Museum of Pop in downtown Seattle here. So I'm gonna go check that out.
Oh,
Talk
I
with
wish I
people,
was
try
there.
and network. Yeah, I'm excited to go do that. So that's from 5 to 8. So I'll try and do that as long as I can. Talk to as many people as I can, and just kind of get the lay of the land for day 3.
Cool. So let's do this again tomorrow and give everybody a taste of day 2 or day 3, however you look at it, and catch up then. But thanks. I mean, it looks like an exciting show. You're learning a lot, and Amazon is trying to solve a lot of problems that direct sellers have. So thanks for being there.
Thanks for having me, Adam.